Welcome. My name is Colleen Tauke and I'm the sewing specialist for Fons & Porter. In this tutorial, I will show you how to use a design wall to create the quilt Mineral Springs. For the pattern for this quilt, visit our website. Okay, we're going to be working with 2.5-inch pre-cut strips, and this quilt is made with a gorgeous selection of greens and blues and plums and browns. And we're going to be using just the pre-cut strips, nothing else. So from those strips, you will need to cut rectangles of 2 different sizes. Follow the instructions in our pattern for the number from each strip to cut. This quilt is going to be one that you're going to want to use a design wall to create. There are not too many shortcuts to take, other than you need to create entire strips linking squares or rectangles together across the quilt. And as you look at the quilt, you'll see that the colors are grouped around a rectangle. So up in the top corner, you'll see blue with a purple center. So you'll need to group things together. So a design wall is a great way for you to start laying out your bricks to create the overall pattern. In my sewing space, I use the backside of a vinyl tablecloth. It's kind of flannel back to it. So then I can lay things out on it, and if I need to put it away, I can kind of roll it up, slide it underneath of a sofa or under a bed, and then take it back out and still have everything in the orientation that I started out with. So what we're going to be doing is planning, you'll see here, groups of colors together that have some contrast. The quilt kind of has a soft flow of colors throughout it. And the other tip is once you start to get your rows constructed, is to use sticky dots or post-it notes or something and number your rows going down so that you know for sure this is where I wanted my colors to be grouped. Now, in the diagrams for this quilt, you will find that at the very first 3 rows, you're going to be cutting blocks that are even, and they start all at one point. And then from there, the blocks kind of shift back and forth. And so these seams stay stacked above each other so that each of your components of color kind of stay together and don't get kind of a shift offset to them. So you will want to join your rows together, pinning, keeping things in line, and as you joined the first 2, we do have you even cut them so that you have a place to start by keeping these aligned, and then later you'll want to just visually making sure that you keep those stacked all the way along. Now, once you've created those rows all across, you'll notice in the layout you have this uneven end, and you'll have the same on the other side of your quilt, and what to do with that when you're finished. So let's take a look at how to square up the edge of your quilt. Now, this is what you should have when you get done, is this uneven side to side of your quilt. Top and bottom will be straight, side to side uneven. So what you need to do is come in with your ruler, and from the shortest block here, you're going to make a right angle. So you're going to come in and just going to trim this away, and do that on both sides of your quilt, left and right. When you're finished, this one was finished with a plum color binding, Mineral Springs. For more video tutorials, visit our website. Thanks for joining me.